Explain the Milgram experiment and its results.
The Milgram experiment was an experiment done to test how far people will go to hurt others under the order of authority. People were placed in a room and told to shock somebody in another room, and the actor screamed louder and louder, and the lab technician told the unknowing person to keep going until the actor went silent and played dead.
Our reaction to the experiment is it's very crude mentally to do to people's minds, but it gets the point across to see how far someone will go for the authority of telling somebody what to do. Do you agree or disagree with the Milgram's conclusion?
Our group agrees with Milgram's experiment based on the fact that people will do something that they know they could get in trouble for, and whenever they know that they can dish the blame on someone else with no consequences because they don't think about it. However, 70% of the people in the experiment will do something if told to do so by somebody in position of authority.
Evaluate whether or not Milgram's experiment justifies his conclusion.
I would say yes and no on whether it justifies his conclusion. The sample size was not large enough and did not have enough diversity to give a completely accurate result. But we do feel like even if the sample size and diversity was larger, it would stay relatively the same as we're all taught to follow authority, like teachers, your boss, the police, and more.
Identify which group of participants displayed the critical thinking skills needed.
There were a few people that showed creative problem solving by knowing that the people were getting hurt by hearing them scream. Also, the guy that was telling people to shock them had effective communication by telling them / lying that they were okay even though the bolts are being turned up each time people were screaming. Lacking critical thinking, what were the potential barriers that were faced?
I think that those lacking in critical thinking often have the same issues when it comes to the avoidance and denial barrier. Because I feel that people struggle when it comes to those barriers, we think those two barriers are the most common problems when it comes to people's thinking. Some have to learn to not avoid, and some have to learn how to not deny their shots.
To the experiment.
I pressed.
I
did. The second I was done talking.
that's
Because the people can dish the blame on someone else with no consequences. I need to restart this.
Identify which groups of participants displayed the critical thinking skills.
There were a few people that showed creative problem solving by knowing that the people were getting hurt. Just redo it again.